A draining conversation is one that quietly hijacks your energy. It may have started normally, but over time it is beginning to weigh in on your attention, pull you into cycles, or keep you emotionally or mentally stuck long after you should have moved on. Ending this type of conversations is necessary, but how you end them matters. Politeness, in this sense, allows you to live without escalating the moment or permanently damaging the relationship. And this video provides you with a practical sequence for exiting a draining conversation while keeping control of the situation and your energy. Number one, acknowledge internally that the conversation has reached its limit. Every draining conversation becomes harder to exit the longer you ignore your own discomfort. So the first move is silent and internal. You accept that the conversation is no longer serving you. This mental clarity matters because you cannot exit well if part of you is still open. The conversation will suddenly improve. So once you acknowledge the limit, your responses naturally become more decisive, which is the starting point of ending the interaction. Number two, create a natural slowing point instead of forcing a cut. Draining conversations usually run on momentum. So rather than interrupting that flow aggressively, you slow it down. Shorter responses, less emotional investment, and a calmer pace introduce a natural pause in the exchange. This makes the transition toward ending the conversation feel progressive instead of jarring, which reduces resistance from the other person and prepares the ground for your exit. Number three, shift the focus away from the content of the conversation. Arguing the topic, correcting details, or trying to fix what is being discussed only deepens the drain. To end the conversation, you gradually step out of the content and bring attention to the circumstance. This could be your energy, time, or capacity in that moment. When the focus shifts from what is being talked about to the fact that the conversation cannot continue right now, the ending becomes easier and cleaner. Number four, state your need clearly without turning it into a debate. At this point, you make your exit visible. You communicate a boundary that does not invite negotiation. The clarity here is essential. Ambiguity keeps the conversation alive. You are not asking for permission to leave, nor are you defending yourself. You are simply naming a limit. This is where politeness supports the process. It keeps the statement calm and respectful so it lands as information, not provocation. Number five, tie your exit to a forward movement. People resist endings when they feel abruptly dropped. You reduce that resistance by linking your exit to motion, something you need to attend to, something that requires your focus next, or a later time when the conversation can continue if appropriate. This connection helps the conversation conclude naturally instead of collapsing. Number six, close the conversation instead of fading out. A common mistake is trying to disappear slowly, which often invite follow-up messages, repeated calls, or renewed engagement. A proper ending includes a closing signal, verbal or physical, that confirms the interaction is complete for now, whether it is standing up, ending the call, or verbally wrapping up. Closure prevents the drain from leaking into the next moments of your own day. Number seven, hold the boundary after you leave. The conversation truly ends only when your actions match your words. Re-engaging immediately, explaining yourself again, or responding to follow-ups out of guilt reopens what you worked to close. Protecting your exit is part of ending the draining conversation. It communicates consistency and trains others to respect your limits over time. In conclusion, ending a draining conversation is an act of self-respect. And when done well, you live without burning bridges and without carrying the weight of a conversation that should have ended earlier.